Hi and welcome to episode 26. Well, our tour of the East Coast continues, but in this episode we want to talk about free and low-cost camping and why we prefer it. And it's not necessarily the reason that you might think. We're going to touch on how we find our sites, what's important to us in a site, and also a bit of a revelation that kind of hit that came as a surprise to us. So we're going to share all that with you. If that's of interest, stick with us. Let's get into it. So in this episode, we've actually moved sites twice. So you're going to see three different sites that we've stayed on. One being free, one being $25 a night, and one being $65 a night. We've been traveling for 10 months now, full time, and we have discovered, haven't we, that we much prefer the free and low cost sites over the caravan parks. And it's not because they're cheaper. Ironically, I mean, it's nice that they're cheaper, don't get me wrong. It's because of space. In our case, it's space. It's just not being confined and not having a neighbour that's 3 metres away.
Or less.
Or less sometimes, yeah. So the next thing is, how do we find the free and low cost camping? Well, like a lot of people, it's wiki camps in the main.
And Camps 12.
Camps 12 we have access to as well. Predominantly we use wiki camps though, don't we?
And your farm stays.
And farm stays is another one, but predominantly it is
Wiki camps.
I would say 85-90% of the time it's wiki camps. What you could do with wiki camps is, generally you know the area that you want to go to, so your next stop you'll know roughly where you want to be. So we put that town in, and we will always start by altering the filters to just free, and we'll search for free camps in that area. There may or may not be that any that come up. Assuming that there isn't, we'll add in donation to the filters. You can typically expect to pay $5-10 a night, maybe, if it's a donation site.
Sometimes 15.
Occasionally 15, but that's
Italy
pretty
was
rare,
15.
isn't it? And then if there's nothing on the free and the donation, we'll then extend the filters to cost. And that's where you generally tend to stumble on the sites that are maybe $25 or $30 a night. But the other thing that is the way that we've found a lot of low-cost camping is to talk to people. Talk to people on the sites that you're on. Recommendation. Everybody is very happy to tell you that, oh, we've just come from such a place and it was only this, or it was free, or it was that. Everybody shares information, so don't be shy. When people are wandering about on your campground, chat to them, have a chat. It's the people that have got all the little secret places as well, that maybe other people don't know about. So absolutely talk to people. Okay, so what's important to us in a site? Now, I've made myself some notes because I don't want to forget anything here.
Dog friendly is
the most important thing in our case is it has to be dog friendly. We're travelling with a dog, we need to be dog friendly. Maybe that doesn't apply to you, so maybe it's not relevant.
There's a lot not.
There is a lot of sites that are not dog friendly, so that may or may not be a factor for you. As just mentioned, space. Space makes a massive difference to us. We just don't like to be too squashed in, and obviously if we've got space to throw the ball for the dog, that's great as well. So space is a major factor for us. Facilities.
We're not bothered. Realistically,
in our case, we're not bothered really. We've got all our own facilities here and we prefer to use our own. So even when a campground or whatever has lovely facilities, 99% of the time we'll use our own. We'll use our own shower and our own toilet and such like. But what you do need, what you can't get away from, is you have to have access to water and you have to have access to a dump point.
Close by, if not.
Close by. So it doesn't necessarily have to be on the site that you're at, but if the local town that's 5 or 10 minutes drive away, if you have a car and if you have a water bladder, as we do, we can transport water backwards and forwards to the motorhome. So if we're planning on staying somewhere for 3 or 4 days, it's no issue to us. We'll be going out in the car in the day, we can pick some water up, we can take the toilet cassette with us. We actually have 2 toilet cassettes, to be honest, and we alternate between the 2. So there's always one in the motorhome being used and one in the car that has some water and some cleaner detergent in there, so one's being cleaned while one's being used, so that works very well. So if you've got an access to a car and you have a water bladder, you can get over the water and dump point relatively easy. It doesn't necessarily have to be on the campground that you're in, does it? No. That's been good for us. That's been a big difference.
And we have been lucky most times, haven't we?
Yeah. Now the other thing, a little bit of wind coming up. I hope my microphone's not picking that up. The other thing is power and water. Do you want to pay? Do you want to choose a campground that gives you access to power and water? Well, that depends on the price. If somewhere, we've got a jet coming over now, would you believe? If you know it's not a jet, it's somebody going on their holidays from the nearby airport.
Right near the Gold Coast.
Right near the airport on the Gold Coast at the moment. So anyway, power and water. Do you want to pay for it? So if power and water in our case is, let's say, $15 or maybe up to $25, we may choose to pay for that, because it means we can use the washing machine. It means we've got easy access. We do have a generator, so we can generate our own power. So we don't need power. Having said that, to be able to just plug in for an extra $10-15, something like that. We don't mind that. That's quite good. Our cut-off point tends to generally be about $25 to $30 for power and water.
Generally 50.
We've not got to caravan sites really yet, have we? Okay. So caravan sites are our last resort. If we can't find a campground or a free camp or something like that up to about $25, then we look at caravan parks, don't we? And depending on where you are, now that's the big thing, because if you're in a slightly less desirable location, you might get a caravan park for $40 a night with power and water and drainage and such like. If you're somewhere like where we are at the moment, $65 a night, absolute minimum. So that's our last resort.
But you've got to pay for it if you want to be close to things going on, haven't you?
Of course, if you want to be near the coast and you want to be near the touristy parts, you would expect it to be more expensive, but you can weigh that against being a little bit further out. If you've got a car, remember, if you can be a little bit further out, go on a free or low-cost campground and just travel to the coast, travel to the touristy bits. You'll probably use a lot less in fuel going to and from than you would parking up in a caravan park at $65 or $70 a night. So they're all things to consider, aren't they? The other thing, if you're free camping, and this is something we've come up against, obviously we have solar. Most RVs these days have at least some basic amount of solar. We've got 400 watts of solar and a 240 amp battery, and we can last about 3 days if there's sunshine. So if it's raining and it's cloudy and it's miserable,
you've had it.
You've had it.
You've got to go on a site.
We could maybe struggle by 2 days, but then you've got to either have a generator to sort of pimp up your power a little bit. So there's all that to consider. Weather plays a big part in where we go. We look at where we want to go, look at what the weather's going to be like there, and then say, well, that's an ideal free camping situation, or the weather's going to be crap. We're pretty much going to have no choice because we want to be near such a thing to go in a caravan park. So it's just a case of thinking ahead. As a point of interest, we never think more than about 2 or 3 days ahead, and we've never had a problem.
If it was school holidays, you'd have
to of course school holidays are a different kettle of fish altogether. And one other thing before we finish on this, when you go to a free camp and there is a sign there that says 24 hours or 48 hour maximum or something like that, it's all on wiki camps. Often there's a sign up when you get there saying 24 hours max, something like that. The reality is nobody takes any notice.
Sometimes
we've spoken to several rangers, and friends have spoken to several rangers, and we've been told that they have to put those signs up just so that if anyone sets up camp permanently, they have a legitimate excuse to say clear off. They really don't care about caravans and motorhomes that may stay a few days, a week. We've been on sites
and stayed a week
a week where it was a 24-hour site and nobody has bothered, and there's been people there before we arrived and long after we've left as well. So don't be worried about the fact that something says 24 hours. There's 90% chance it won't matter. If you're clearly going to be moving on,
Long as
you're
you're not
clearly
settling
not
down.
setting up to,
Yeah.
to be there for 6 months. Nobody seems to bother. And what's the worst case scenario?
They
Some
come and
guy
move
taps
you
on your door and says, look, you're going to have to move, mate, I'm sorry. So it's not the end of the world. Okay, so that's really what we look for. Oops, a daisy, he says, throwing his phone on the floor. We have had one revelation. We have come across one thing that's kind of surprised us a little bit, and I'm going to tell you exactly what that is after we've had a quick look at Tamborine Mountain. So just doing the morning ritual of filling the water tank up. There she goes. It's been lovely and quiet here. We've had our second night last night and we both slept very well. They actually have a very nice setup here and they're lovely people. Apparently Sid did okay yesterday. I don't know whether he was actually introduced to any other dogs. I've not spoke to Harriet properly, but I'll try and have a chat with her this morning. But he came back yesterday all nice and happy. He was knackered. We got back about 4:30 and literally got in the van, and within 10 minutes he was fast asleep. And that was pretty much him for the night. He a couple of times he sort of stood up and picked his ball up like he wanted to play, and then a couple of minutes later just lay back down again, went straight back to sleep. So he'd obviously been that active all day. It was took it out of him. So today we're going to explore a little bit more of the northern side of the Gold Coast. We did discover the other day when we drove through Tamborine Mountain that there's a lovely little area there. So we're going to go back this morning. My knee at the time was really playing up, so we didn't have a walk. So we're going to go back there this morning and have a little bit of a wander around, see what that's like, and then head back over to the coastal Gold Coast and explore a bit more over there. So we're at Tambourine now, which is this is the nice little stretch that we drove down yesterday. It's 10 a.m. and every single parking space was full.
We just got the last one.
We just managed to snag one as somebody pulled out. But
What's
this is a
doing,
really cute little strip of shops. There's Angela's pantry, Angie.
I know, I'm going to have a look.
It kind of reminds us a little bit of Harndorf, this. It's nothing like Harndorf really, but it's just got a nice feel to it. It's a bit sort of Margaret River-ish as well, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? It's beautiful.
All them types of shops, you know.
Oh, I don't know.
So we've found Australia's best-selling fudge, Fudge Heaven, and they've got adults-only fudge. What's that all about? And here's a wee bit of Scotland.
Yeah. Whistling Duck Village. Wait. Oh, you want a drink? Okay.
God, strong, very strong smelling fragrances coming out of there. Oh, Sid's found a bowl. Very novel. There's another fudge place over the road there.
There's loads of them. There are about 3, weren't there?
I wonder why it's such a fudgy place.
Don't know.
That's interesting. That must just be a domestic house. Well, look at the little things on there.
Come on, out the way.
Cool.
Come on.
Tambourine
no,
tea.
No.
Jewellery studio.
Come on.
Do you want some jewellery, Angie?
Me? I
some
forget to put
jewellery?
it on. Forgot, didn't I?
More jewellery? You sure?
I don't wear it that much, do I?
You're not a big jewellery person, are you?
I'm not an I want person.
You're not an I want person, which is handy, really.
Because you are.
Divine tattoo. Oh, it's tattoo time again, Angie.
Just got to find the right spot.
You got to find the right spot.
Yeah.
There's some interesting property, isn't there? Look at that. And there's clock houses down here, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's a cafe, but that's all closed as well. Shame.
What a shame.
We're very out of season, aren't we?
Yeah, what a shame that's not open. Come in out the way. Come on.
It
Come
will
on
be.
nicely.
It's wrong time of year, really.
Yeah.
But still, it's a busy place, even now, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's a walking place, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, Granny Max sounds good.
Have a nosy in here. Plenty of stuff in here. That would have been an ideal little spot. They do coffees in there, and there's a nice little veranda we could have sat on with Sid, but they don't do any fruit toast or anything like that. We just fancy a bit of toast. What's this place? Is that
It's a restaurant.
Restaurant? Oh yeah.
It's possibly not open yet.
Yeah,
Might only open at
obviously out
night.
of season again. And here's
Sydney.
here's the cuckoo clock nest. This is very Harndorf, isn't it?
Yeah. You have to stay here a minute, Sid. You'll have to stay here.
Wow.
Stay here.
Gosh,
He
there's
has
some
a drink
stuff in
here. Do you
here.
want a drink?
Look at the size of that fella there. Unbelievable. Wow.
Okay, don't drink it all. Get some for somebody else.
Modern ones as well.
Get out here for Daddy.
They're pretty cool. Oh. Lovely.
Da-da-da. Not going on there.
That's amazing in there. You got to go in there, babe.
I know, I love that sort of thing.
She'll like it in there. The drink there, Siddy? Oh yeah. Found another one. There's some lovely little shops, isn't there? It's got a Lake District-y feel about it as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
I think it sort of feels quite familiar to us, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
Which is strange. Let's have a nosy in here. There might be a cup of coffee waiting for us down here somewhere. That looks a very popular little bakery there. So like a true warrior, I've gone out and I've tracked down some raisin toast for you. And coffee.
Okay.
I push the boat out me. I know how to treat a lady. I do. Oh yes. Oh yes. Okay, so thanks for sticking with us. So what's the revelation? Well, revelation is probably a bit of a strong word, to be honest. It's not really a revelation, is it? But what we have found in the 10 months that we've been travelling is that, yes, obviously you go to some beautiful places, but what's made it special really is the people. The people that we've met, that we sort of weren't expecting that to be the case quite as much as it has been. We've met some brilliant people, we've made some great friends, some of which I'm sure will be lifelong friends. But almost without exception, those people we've met in the free or low-cost camps.
I think they've all got time to talk, haven't they?
I think the people that are in the free and low-cost camps are predominantly long-term or full-time travellers, and they enjoy a chat, they enjoy getting together and swapping stories. As different, nothing wrong with people that go to caravan parks, don't get me wrong, but they're on holiday. Invariably, they get up at morning, they go out for the day, they come back at night, they shut themselves in the van, and they go home on Friday or whatever.
Which we've been guilty of this week.
Which, yes, this week's a little bit different for us, but that's been a little bit of a revelation. We have enjoyed the company of the people in the free and the low-cost camping
And they're what make
a
it,
lot.
aren't they?
We have also found in caravan parks, a lot of the time, people just don't want to get involved.
Yeah.
They've come with their friends, they've maybe 2 caravans, 3 caravans, or they just don't want to get involved. So yeah, that's our little revelation. I know it's not really a revelation, but yeah, you meet the nicest people
You're so dramatic, aren't
in the free, and I am a bit, aren't I? I am a bit. But you meet the nicest people in the free and low cost camping. So give it a go.
Yeah.
We've got friends that have never been anywhere other than caravan parks. Seriously though, give it a go. Try it. I can't imagine that you won't like it.
And it gives you money to go out
And it gives you money. That's actually a good point because
gives you another meal in a tavern.
Yes, that's another way that we often look at it as well. If we've gone on a free camp in a small town, then that releases a little bit of money where you can go to the pub and you can have a nice meal. You can spend the money in the town rather than at a campground. You're feeding the town a little bit, aren't you?
Yeah, and that's what they do it for, isn't it? So that you will come to the town and give back, sort of thing.
Yeah, they do, of course they do. Thanks for watching. I hope that's been of some benefit. Let's get back to the video. So we're in Canongra, and I've just been drawn in by a load of bikes. When we drove through here twice yesterday, both times we saw a 1300 Adventure, which I'm desperate to talk to an owner. I've seen one in the flesh, but I'd really like to talk to somebody that actually owns one. But of course, there's none here today. There's a tricked up 1400. That's kind of different. I had one of those. Very nice. Gotta say, I prefer it in the standard colours. But you've just got to have a look at that, haven't you? That's pretty amazing. That yours, mate?
Yeah.
That's pretty damned impressive. You've bought it or built it?
No, we built it, and I'm getting used to it because it's got air rides on it.
It's a lovely looking thing. So have you built before, or is this a...
Yeah, we do it, all these kits are ours.
Oh, okay, you're a manufacturer.
So
that's an amazing looking thing, though. Cool. That's really nice.
That was a little bit bigger.
So is this for you or for a customer, or just as a sort of a...
promoting the kits.
Okay.
So we're going to sell it,
Yeah.
but I'm going to keep it for a bit. We're going to promote
And
the
what did you say? Spartan
baggers.
Spartan baggers.
Yeah.
Cool.
Spartan baggers.
Very impressive. Beautiful colour as well.
Yeah, I think the colour we
Absolutely.
nailed.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Wicked.
Yeah, all good.
You take care, mate.
Safe trip around.
And you too. Enjoy. Anybody involved in motorbikes is nice. They all want to chat. Everybody wants to chat, which is great. Lovely. All good stuff. So we've just hit the coast. We're just north of Surfers Paradise now, and this is the most coastal road we can find at the minute. It's been a little bit better this morning in terms of we've not been in roadworks all day. It was a nightmare yesterday. We just couldn't get away from the traffic. So we're just going through Labrador now, and the high rises are still there, but they're definitely thinned out a little bit from a bit further south. This is quite pretty, isn't it? Looks like there's some little waterways a little bit further in, according to the maps there. Quite a few catamarans over there, yeah. And we're going over the water now. There you go.
Look at that. Beautiful. 169 over there, 193.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, diesel prices are varying
Obviously a bit dearer.
unbelievably. Paradise Point, I think this is called, we're going into now. We've just passed an area very much like Hall's Head back in WA, where all the houses back onto the water. So we're now in Paradise Point, which looks to be a very cute place. There's plenty going on around here.
Beautiful, isn't it?
A bit of water orientated activity. Quite an impressive bridge. Catamarans seem to be a very big thing these days. I never really noticed until we started watching $1 Million Bogan on YouTube just how many catamarans there is. Plenty going on.
Oh, look at that bike.
Yeah.
Brushed black.
Ape hangers. I don't like ape hangers. Can't imagine
The
what
colour
it's
of
like
nice,
to
though.
ride with them on, but
It's just
each
matte
to
black.
their own. This is
Hot soup and garlic bread.
hot
Yum.
soup, including garlic bread. Oh, yeah.
Sounds
Quite a nice little stretch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Italian. Very nice little area. Look at that, Angie. That's a Lamborghini.
Oh yeah, that's not what you visualise,
No,
is it?
it's not, but very
Nice
impressive.
looking. Ooh, that's a
Again,
nice shop.
some lovely shops, isn't there? I'm guessing Paradise Point is quite a wealthy area, maybe.
Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it?
This is a lovely little spot.
It is, isn't it?
So this is just a little bit further up Paradise Point, and I think it's a pretty good example of how the other half live. Check out those waterfront houses there and the boats outside. Look at that one over there. Somehow I don't think he was a tradie. Absolutely lovely. There's a little bit of a harbour over there and the really big privately owned boats. Oh. So we've left Tambourine this morning and the Tambourine pet farm stay, which was very nice, and we're on our way to Fernvale, but we've just stopped off at Ipswich Showgrounds, basically just to fill up with water. The tank in the moho was empty and our bladder was empty as well in the car. But as this is a noisy bugger, as this is a showground, we thought if it's really nice we might stay here, but if you can just make out there, instead of being on the open part of the showground, which I assume will probably be quite nice, all the caravans and stuff are sort of crammed in a car park bit there by the looks of things. So, and the charging for it, so I think it's $30 a night. So we're not going to bother. We're going to carry on to Fernvale, which is free, and hopefully that's a bit more open and not as squishy. So we've arrived in Fernvale. This is just a free campground, and we might have, I don't know whether we'll have a night or 2 or 3 here, we'll play it by ear, but it's basically just a small area by the side of the road, and there's a few vans here, so should be okay. We happen to have found a nice level spot. Looks like there's a couple of people in the background there and another one behind the van and maybe one down there that are sort of semi-permanent. This is another one of those situations where it's supposedly a 20-hour maximum stay that everybody seems to completely ignore. Anyway, time for a cuppa. Okay, so this is something a bit different. We just sat here watching a bit of YouTube, and this couple, I know that's a bit reflective, they're called Rose and Karsten, and their channel is called Kiwis on the Way. Now, just check this out, if you can see this.
Meet Matilda.
Now Matilda, who looks slightly different now because she's had a coat of paint, is there. How about that? To be honest, we saw the sticker on the back of their vehicle, so we've just found them on YouTube. But these guys have been travelling around the world for I'm not sure how long. Hopefully we'll get a chat with them later, but yeah, fascinating. And there's Matilda with her new paintwork and ready to roll. I've just had a quick look at a few of their recent videos, and it looks like they've only had Matilda for probably 3 or 4 weeks, something like that. So be interesting to chat. Yeah, this video that we're watching now is where they're just about to paint Matilda. So we just had a chat with Rose and Karsten. Lovely people. They've been travelling for ages and been all over the place. They're doing it hardcore compared to us. But yes, their Unimog is 1985, and this is actually, believe it or not, their first real trip out really. They're actually in Fernvale, where we are now, to pick up some parts tomorrow. So they're very much on a tester trip. Cool. So we're on the move again, guys. We've just left Fernvale. We've had a nice couple of nights there on a free stop. And we are travelling the whole 10 minutes this morning. to Lowood, which is a showground. We will have power and water there, and it is $25 a night, and we've booked in there for 3 nights, just to sort of catch up with things and get on top of the washing and stuff. So a few minutes and we'll be at Lowwood Showground, which we did call and have a quick look at yesterday, and it's very nice, so it should suit us for a few days. So the site that we're on at the moment is the Lowwood Showground, which is about an hour west of Brisbane. And I'd probably have to say it's maybe one of, if not my favourite showground of all time so far. This showground is $25 a night for power and water. You can let your grey water run out on the grass. So it's real easy, there's no restrictions. And there's a tremendous amount of space, and you're actually, to be honest, you're not really seeing it just at its best at the moment. A few days ago there was quite a heavy frost for a couple of days on the trot, and it's kind of killed the grass off a bit. So apparently all this grass was a lovely lush green, and as you can see now it's struggling a little bit. And also at the moment it's relatively busy. There's still absolutely tons of space, but I think there's some event on in the town because 14 vans all arrived yesterday. There is a couple of reasons why it's a particular favourite of mine, and it is of course a pet friendly site. Dogs have to be kept on a leash at all times, but I also spoke to the owner yesterday, and he said that this area along the back here, you can let your dog off the lead and let him have a bit of a run, which is ideal because we're literally there and we can just walk over there, let Sid have a bit of a run and just pop him on the lead as we walk back to the van, which is nice that they let you do that. The other massive bonus for me is the actual showground itself, which is a lovely great big open area. It's mowed very flat, and as some of you know, I have 2 radio control planes and a helicopter with me, so this is ideal for me to play with my toys. I have of course asked permission and they have no problem with that, so over the last couple of days I've been keeping my hand in a little bit with the models, which is great. I enjoy that, it's a bit of a change. So I could absolutely recommend the Lowwood Showground. It suits our purposes perfectly, and for $25 a night with power and water, I don't think you could go wrong. That's superb value, and why anyone would choose to go to a caravan site over having a nice bit more space like this, I don't understand, but there you go. So I've come out to Toowoomba today, and this is Queen's Park. Just going to have a little bit of a wander with Sid and then a bit of a nosy round. We're meeting our youngest daughter in Brisbane tomorrow, so we can spend a few days with them. It's been 6 months since we've seen them now, hasn't it? You looking forward to it? Yeah. This is a lovely big park, isn't it? It's actually a massive park, isn't it? I didn't realise it was this big. Huge. Oh, look at that tree over there, Angie. That one over there, it's sort of like a dome. That's an unusual tree. So just doing a bit of exploring around the town now. Initial appearance suggests that it's quite an industrially type town, Toowoomba. I've got no real idea where we're going. It is, look at that building over there with the 3 balconies. That's a bit interesting, isn't it?
Different, isn't it? Beautiful. The Irish Club Hotel over there too.
Another tobogganist there. Oh, it's a tobacconist. Bit of wall art on this side here. Central Plaza. I don't think we'll be doing much walking around the town here. It's a very sprawling sort of place, isn't it? So we've just come to the university now. There's supposedly some Japanese gardens around here. Wasn't much going on in the city. It's all a bit busy and typical city, so not a lot of point in doing much filming and boring you to tears around there. So here we go. This is the University Japanese Garden. Somebody who likes pruning's dream come true, isn't it, this? Well, that's cool. How nice is that? I wonder if there would be water dragons in here. Close enough to Brisbane, aren't we? Oh, I can't see any turtles or anything. There's ducks. It's not very deep, look, it only comes up to the waist. Waiting for me then, Sid. Look at all the bin chickens in the tree there. That looks like a big bonsai tree, doesn't it? Oh yeah, yeah. There's a turtle there, yeah. No, that was closer, we was over there. Yeah, there's 3 turtles on the rock over there. You see those? Sunbathing, just warming the shells. It's a very nice place. Oh, there's a few turtles in the water here. I think 3 just there. Pity it's not a bit clearer. Well, that was a nice change. It's time for a coffee, really, if I can find somewhere. So we're on our way back to the showground now, and Waze has chosen to take us what appears to be the very scenic route. We're very much in the country. Look at the view over this side, Angie, if you can catch it between the trees. It's very much keeping us off the main roads, which is nice. And there's the ranges in the distance ahead there. I don't know whether the camera will pick that up. Much prefer these kind of roads. No shortage of trees again. Nice roads. Look at the little windmill there to the left. Always remind me of cowboys, westerns. So we've left Lowood this morning, and we've had a nice 3-day stay there. Lowood was fantastic. Really enjoyed the showground there. That was superb. And we're now back on the motorway heading towards Brisbane. We've actually got family holidaying in Brisbane and the Gold Coast at the moment, so it's going to be nice to be able to spend a few days with them. A little bit overcast and a bit cooler today, but that's not such a bad thing. When it's moving on day, it's quite handy really for it to be a bit cooler and get stuck in, get it all sorted. So we're heading through the outskirts of Brisbane and then down to Coolangatta, where we're staying for 3 nights and have a bit of time, as I say, with the family there, and then we'll be back heading north again. Can't say that I'm looking forward to the traffic as we get closer to Brisbane. Always concerns me a little bit driving the motorhome when you don't know where you're going, and everybody else seems to know exactly where they're going, don't they? And the amount of times I've been in the wrong lane. Anyway, we'll catch up with you when we get to the campsite. So, ironically, bearing in mind the title of this video, this is where we find ourselves at the moment. This is the Kirra Beach Tourist Park, and as you can maybe tell, things are a little bit crammed in. So this is kind of typical of what we don't really go for. So if you look how close these vans are, everything is pretty squashed in. You're very close to your neighbour. Now, as I mentioned on the drive here, the reason that we're here is to catch up with family. So this particular site, the Kirra Beach Tourist Park, is literally about 200 metres from a house that some of our family have rented for a few days. So we've come here just to make it easy to see them and catch up. This site is $65 a night it works out at, which of course we're comparing with the $25 a night that we were paying recently at Lowwood Showground, which to my mind was a million times more comfortable, but each to their own. Obviously, I mean, this site provides all the amenities. If you've got children, they've got swimming pools and play areas and all that type of thing. As I say, the only reason that we're here is its proximity to the town centre and, more importantly, to the family. So yeah, unfortunately the weather's took a bit of a turn as well. It's not been very nice since we arrived here yesterday afternoon, but hey ho.